to be able to easily manage data in the application, we're going to use one of the centralized stores called Pinia. This is a library for storing and managing data in one place, which allows us to easily read certain data directly within the particular component without having to pass these data through multiple components to reach its destination, avoiding so-called prop drilling problem. In other words, if certain component requires some data, we don't have to pass this data through multiple ancestor components into this component, but instead we're going to directly reach to the store to fetch particular data. Nuxt provides us with additional module to integrate this Pinia store into the application called Pinia Nuxt. So to install this module, we're going to run the following npm command, and then to include this module, we're gonna have to add the following entry into modules array inside the nuxt config.js or ts file. So let's do that. First of all, I'm gonna run the command to install necessary npm packages, and after this, let's open up nuxt.config.ts and add the following entry in here inside modules array, and this way Pinia store will be included in the application and we can start working with it. So first of all, we need to create the store, and the default directory for stores inside Nuxt application is called stores. I'm gonna create this directory and the file with the first store that will contain information about playlists. I'm gonna call this store playlists. So this store will be fully responsible for playlist resource in the application. It is going to store playlist data as well as manage it. To declare new store, we're going to call define store function. The first argument of this function has to be the store name, which is playlists in our case, and the second argument has to be the function which will describe the logic for managing this store. Right away I'm going to declare the interface which will describe objects that this store is going to work with. The interface is called playlist, and each playlist object is going to have three properties: identifier, which will be a number, title, as well as description. Both of these properties will be strings. And then let's declare state variable called playlists that is going to be an array of playlist objects. This variable will be reactive. That is why I'm using ref to declare this array of data. And now I'm going to basically add some random playlist data within this array. But before, in order to make this array accessible from outside of this store so we can work with it inside components, I'm going to return an object with all the data that has to be exposed to the outside world. As of now, we're storing array of playlist objects directly within playlist grid component, as you can see right here. So let's open up this component, and I'm going to take this whole array of playlist objects and move it within playlist store right here. But for now I'm going to remove text property from here so that each playlist object is going to have only title and description fields. And by the way, we also need to add identifiers into each such object. So let's quickly do so. Basically, I have chosen random identifiers, and all of them are unique. So now we don't have to declare array of playlists directly within playlist grid component. Let's get rid of it. So what we're gonna do instead is to fetch this playlists array from playlist store. To receive playlist store, we can call use playlist store function that we have declared previously within playlist store. And by the way, we don't have to add any extra imports to import this function, since Nuxt is going to automatically import all stores that are declared within stores folder. And we can get access to this playlist array from within the component because previously we have returned this array from this store. And there we go, in the browser we're still seeing array of playlists rendered on this page. And what's more, inside Vue DevTools we can see a new tab called Pinia, where we can see information about our current stores. So far we have only one store called playlists, which contains an array of playlists objects that we have successfully fetched from within playlist grid component and displayed on the page. The link to the source code of this project will be as always in the video description.